Hi, this is Tai Pan for Shanzai.com, and we're back today with yet another video for you with some more exciting tablet action. Today we're looking at the Dawa D7, which is, as you can tell from the box here, probably with the green stylings and white, a Android-based tablet PC. What do they call them? Tablet PCs or just tablets now, or tab pads? It's hard to say. It's not an iPad anyway. Anyway, this one comes from Dawa. It's D7. It's called D7 because it's a 7-inch form factor device. Packaging on the outside is not too bad. When you get to the inside, it's not quite as sexy as you might hope, but I don't think the packaging is really too important when you're looking for entry-level, inexpensive price devices. But starting over here with a little bit of the extras, we've got your headphones, which you've got to have. We've got a USB connection to your PC. We've got also some user manuals, which are kind of interesting because they're only in Chinese, and actually they kind of unfold out like a little poster, and they kind of have the Chinese read to right to left style rather than the Western left to right style. So that's a little bit interesting for you, those interested in the Chinese culture. Comes with a plug-in kit here, which is interesting because it looks like it's designed for European or non-American style outlets, but it does come with, and included in the package, the converter kit as well, so you get what you need wherever you are. I think that's pretty good. We've got the device itself, and oops, here hiding on the bottom, we've actually got a little pocketbook leather case. Now we've seen casing before on some of our previous tablets, but the one that we had seen before was actually connected directly to the device. This one here lets you pull the tablet in and out of it. I think, again, if you want to hide your tablet or have it look a little bit more like a pocketbook and not let people know that you're carrying around a complex electronic product, I think that's probably a fairly nice little case. Seems pretty sturdy. It doesn't really feel like real leather or anything, but it does let you access your tablet and most of the I/O and connections while it's inside of the case. However, the Dawa D7 does have some interesting things about it and in its design, which I would say kind of negates some of the good parts about the actual tablet case that comes with it. One of the first things before I even turn the device on and kind of get into the product is, I should tell you a little bit about, is I think they tried to do a good job by not copying the iPad like a lot of the other products. They're all using that similar 7-inch iPad-like casing you'll find on a lot of the devices. So they've done a job of their own, but the style and design for it, it's quite slim, so it's nice and consumer friendly for a product to carry around with you. That's great. They've got even recessed I/O ports that you might want to take a close look here on the device. It's right along the bottom edge corner of it. They're quite good, except for they're kind of poorly implemented. It's a great idea, but it's in the end, actually, it doesn't seem to work out as well as you might hope. And on the back side here, they've got a rather interesting little speaker, port speaker out, and also some kind of reset button, which is well indicated here with a bullet or size around it. So the device is powered up now while we're talking. Oh, and that's to let you know for sure you're online and ready to go. Now, the device also includes, part of the makeup is, like I said, a 7-inch resistive touchscreen. Fooling around with the device, we thought that the resistive touchscreen was reasonably snappy in terms of performance. Touching and turning things made things turn on and off and move as we expected. It's also got a front-facing camera for video and pictures, which has kind of got a bit of an interesting performance that we'll talk about in a moment. And it looks like a microphone I/O here for you to speak into as well. For what we've got on board in terms of software, we're looking at an Android 2.1 implementation. It's running on a Telechip 600 megahertz processor. They haven't claimed that it's a higher processing speed than 600 megahertz, so they probably haven't overclocked it. You'll find a lot of the Telechip's devices are saying that it's 800 or 700 megahertz, mainly because they've actually overclocked the CPU a little bit. So this one they're saying is the real 600 megahertz that it stands at, and comes with 256 megabytes of DDR2 RAM. So let's take a look at how some of the performance of some of the applications. As always, you're probably aching to know how this device handles the browsing department. Because it's Android 2.1, one of the nice things is that it will, of course, not be recognized when it goes to websites as a phone and actually pull up the regular full versions of the site. So let's take a look at Amazon for a moment here. Bring up Amazon.com, see what it gives. Site's loading. You can see it actually loaded pretty quick once we had a few more bars on the Wi-Fi. We've got the Kindle. Maybe somehow it's detecting that you're on a... maybe someone set the bookmark to the Kindle. Or are they just trying to sell that? Actually, it's kind of an interesting front page look of Amazon. I'm not sure why it's porting that way. But anyway, let's go back and take a look at something else. What do you want to see? I know, you're dying for some Facebook action. One of the things about the device in the review unit we got, it didn't actually include a Explorer app, so we weren't able to go and add easily add applications ourselves from the SD card that we normally have. And actually, here's Android Market for you. Now it does connect to the Market. We were having some trouble getting our downloads going, but I think that's just again a fault of not clearing our cache out and not being close enough to the Wi-Fi. And to give you an idea, some of the applications inside the device do seem to take advantage of the accelerometer. Boink. See how that was working? That's kind of nice. And some of the applications don't. So strangely enough, the device accelerometer performance seems to be quite good, but only within certain applications. One little bonus feature here is actually it seems like there is some kind of GPS system in here. Locating myself on the map came up quickly and accurately, probably I would say as accurate as my Apple iPhone. When I checked it on the same Google map, it looked like we're in the same location, so it was able to get our location almost immediately. Going back to the hardware layout for a moment, the Dawa D7's got some really interesting features. One of them is it's got a little bit of a hidden stylus here. With Android 2.1, I can't see any reason in the world why you need to be using the stylus. Maybe for some text input, possibly. I think what we're seeing here is probably a device that was originally designed for Windows CE, but then got ported over to an Android, so they've just got that as a bit of a legacy of the case design. One of the oddest features on it, though, is that it's got 4 hardware buttons instead of the typical usual 3. There's the menu, home, and back buttons, but also hidden in here, if you could look at the icons really closely, there's one for search. So at any point when you're on the device, if you click the search button, it'll pop up a search window, which could be useful. So that's kind of a good thing. The bad part of it is that they're all on, as you can see from the video, they're on the back of the device. Turning the device over, trying to figure out which button you're pressing from behind there and looking is actually almost impossible until you played around with the device for quite some time. And even then, actually like feeling your way without looking to which button you're going to be touching proved to be incredibly cumbersome. I was just like pulling my hair out at some point there, trying to figure out which buttons I was supposed to be pressing to bring up the menu, which now I can do after playing with the dice for a few days. Back. Ooh, see, I guess you could say you could get proficient at it if you figure out where those buttons are. So on the front side of the tablet, on the Dawa D7, we've actually got a front-facing camera, which is useful and I think is always a bonus on these devices. However, it does have some mixed performance. If we look at the actual results of using the camera, we can go in here. Let's go into the gallery for a moment and take a look and see how that shows up. So we took a picture of ourselves, just so you can get an idea about what the image quality is like. And in this particular case, it's all right. It's a little bit light and over bright from the heavy lighting we've got here in the room, but I guess you could say it's semi-reasonable quality. I did take 2 or 3 of the pictures, and half of them ended up with some kind of strange stria through the middle of the picture. And you can see a little bit of the double touching. You can make my face even bigger and uglier than it is normally. Now, not only do we have the ability to take pictures, of course we can also take video. So let's take a look at what the video action is like on the device using the video camera. I'm not sure how well that shows up on your video camera watching this on YouTube, but it's reasonably smooth. It's even it's better lit than I say the picture quality was, so actually we're impressed that it was better quality than taking a camera shot. But unfortunately it didn't seem to pick up any of my audio, so we're not sure if that's me not fooling properly with the settings or if there's something wrong with the microphone. Next up on our testing list is a little bit of some video action. Let's first start off with the internet style videos and let's look at YouTube here. Now the YouTube interface is the typical one we've seen on the Telechip implementation. Let's see, we've got a few videos here. Let's look at a proposed movie trailer proposal. We haven't loaded this one before, so it's a fair one to bring up. One of the things we noticed while we were watching videos is that they actually played incredibly smoothly and had very good video playback. However, we noted that... So I think you can see from this video, the audio is pretty good quality. In fact, it sounds a little bit clearer and less tinny than some of the other devices we listen to. The video performance is good, but what you're seeing right now, where it's hanging up on the device, for some reason we've been experiencing this with almost all of the videos, and then we get a cannot play video. And I don't know if that's a fault of the device or our Wi-Fi connection, but it's happened with every YouTube video that we've watched on the device. Now, what about local video that you got on the device itself? Let's go around back of the device and figure out how to get out back to our application screen. And let's go in here, and first off, we'll play the Liverpool video that my cameraman loves so much because it makes him happy, but also gives you an idea about, this is the typical 720p type of file you'll be downloading from the internet, packaged from the internet, and now playing for you here locally on the device. Our watching of this video shows that it's typical performance that we've seen on the Telechip other base devices. It handles the 720p video capability of this particular format really well. We are impressed with that. Now, let's watch one of our little bit more higher higher spec videos. We've got the Computex booth bay video that I know all of you guys are getting sick of. Even I'm actually getting sick of it. But to be fair, you can see it's quite choppy. It's just not quite handling that video format as well as it probably could. Let's pop out of there for a second. Let's bring up the menu for a moment here. Oops, that's the search box. See what I mean? So in conclusion, how do I feel about the Dawa D7? Well, I have to say I've got really mixed emotions on this device because in some senses I really applaud the fact that they try to make a unique design and come up with something of their own styling and get away from just copying the iPad. And the recessed I/O concept I think is fantastic, and so it's a great idea, but in the end the execution and implementation I would say is at least a little bit substandard. Some of the buttons feel a little bit wonky, the I/O thing there is just, I don't know, it just doesn't quite feel right the way you would want for like a nice consumer product. Again, the stylus in the back just makes me think it's a rebadged little Windows CE kind of device. So that's a bit of a letdown. Performance-wise, I think it's probably the same almost as the other Telechip devices that we've reviewed before. So in that sense, it's probably pretty good. Pluses would be the accelerometer seems to work well when it works with only certain applications, and that the GPS actually kind of targeted right on me where I am. So for those of you, those things are important, maybe it is good value. Pricing for this device, as we've seen, is around $185, so makes it a little bit more expensive than some and a little bit cheaper than others. It's really, it's a very confusing product. My overall final impression though was just slightly let down.